Welcome to Real Estate Radio Live, an informative and engaging podcast discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host, Joe Cucchiara, provides you with insight and guidance on how to buy, sell, finance, and invest in real estate. He also offers real estate tax management strategies, new construction advice, home improvement tips, and much, much more. And now, to guide you around the world of real estate, here's your host and Real Estate Radio Live team leader, Joe Cucchiara.
There you go. Can you hear me?
There you are. I can hear you.
All right.
So are you going to the Super Bowl right up the street from where you live?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure that, it's kind of funny. I was telling Lisa, I said, I'd much rather go to a different venue. I know it sounds funny. It's right in our backyard, but it's not a great stadium, to be honest with you, compared to
the new Levi's Stadium. You don't like the new Levi's Stadium?
No, it's embarrassing actually for Silicon Valley to have one of the least kind of unique, innovative, tech-driven. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to SoFi Stadium down in Southern California. Ever been there?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, what they did with that. Like, I think Levi's very ordinary.
Yeah, they should have put in a lot of personal screens and electronics in certain places that made people be able to do everything right from their seat, right?
A lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
About just to tell you, like about 20 plus years ago, maybe even 30, I had a client that went to the city of Trieste, Italy, and said, I'm going to help you build the stadium of the future. And his idea was every seat has a screen, and everything that's going on the field that's being videoed, you can basically do your own, let's see that play again, let's see this again, let's look at it.
Oh, is that right?
Like basically it was like the advanced terminal for the real active fan, but you have to pay a lot more to get those seats. And it was a way to sort of say the future for the city of Trieste, Italy, was to have a really sort of futuristic stadium. This is, of course, for soccer, but conceptually it would apply to any stadium. And now we're 30 years later, and they still haven't picked up on this. It's like they haven't really picked up on that at all.
They kind of do, but they should really do what the airlines do, and that is, of course, they have suites, right? That's a whole different revenue category, but they should do like the airlines do and have nicer sets of seats, more leg room, more comfortable, and charge more.
Right.
Yeah. And they probably could get it. Yeah. My guess is with your jacket, you must not be in Florida, is my guessing.
Is it too cold?
Is it that cold in Florida? Where are you these days? Are you in Stinson Beach?
It was just in Stinson Beach. I have to tell you, it was really cold there.
Was it really?
It was really cold. I mean, I don't know what's happening, but it just seems like climate is changing dramatically.
Well, what's happening is that you're spending so much time in these warm areas. Anytime you go to these other places.
That's right. That actually is true. And my parents told me that. They said, I remember I was just like maybe 30 years, maybe I was 30, 35 years old, and they were obviously getting to be in their 60s. And they were like, wait till you get to be in your 60s. Your skin gets so thin, you feel every little chill in the air. That's why we moved to Florida. I couldn't understand it. My dad would say, just wait till you get into your 60s. You'll know what it feels like to get old. Like he was pretty funny. But Joe, I really want to understand, did things change for you at all during Super Bowl weekend? Because for some people, it's a really big deal. Really big deal, right?
It's a big deal. The city's a little bit different. I'll tell you though, here's what most people don't understand is that the stadiums in Santa Clara County, it's still naming rights the San Francisco 49ers, even though they're in Santa Clara. So I would say 80% of all the pre-game, pre-post activity is going on in San Francisco.
Weird, right?
Still.
A little strange.
Yeah.
Right?
So and so instead of at the San Jose or Santa Clara Convention Center, they're having it at the Moscone Center, a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be Jack and be contractually because they're still the San Francisco. Maybe they have to. I'm not sure.
But you have to wonder. You have to wonder if it takes 2 hours by car to go from San Francisco to the stadium, and probably at least an hour by train, right? Realistically.
Yeah. And I tell you what else is funny. The hotels, and even though the game is here in Santa Clara, this ought to give you another indication. Even though it's here in Santa Clara, the hotel prices are more expensive in San Francisco than they are in San Jose and Clara.
Kidding me?
Isn't that fun? Wild. Isn't that funny?
That's wild.
Yeah.
They must go up. They must go up by at least 25%. I bet.
Well, my daughter was telling me because her and her friends were thinking about going up, just not to go to the game. But she's saying some of these hotels are $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a night. Basic hotels.
Wow.
Yeah.
That come with some special service or something?
I don't know. I mean, maybe a what do they call it? The what's the Uberless drivers now? The
Waymo.
What's it called?
Waymo.
Waymo. Thank you. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Right.
Pretty soon, right? Don't you think? I just came up with another idea right here. Don't you imagine? Most of these packages now, people will start saying, "Stay one night and get 2 Waymos free" or something.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right?
I mean, look, Uber is becoming an advertising company. Like Uber obviously has drivers. I think someone said recently they have like 10 million drivers. 10 million.
Wow.
And they said, look, if this Waymo stuff takes off, and if the Tesla transition, where Tesla is going to get into the Waymo game, where basically there's a bunch of these new Model 2s that everyone just hangs out in.
Yeah.
And then you've got Zeus, which is that sort of 6-seater that looks like you're going into somebody's living room. I don't know if you've seen it. It's from Amazon, but that's an operation.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's like a little bus. Like a little bus. It's got no steering wheel at all. It's not even a car. It's like a little van. And they're going up and down without any drivers in San Francisco. But if that stuff takes off, if people really accept it, that could be 10 million people out of a job, like instantly, all at once.
Yeah.
If you think about it, and somewhere in this, you know that people are thinking that's going to happen, because at some level, these Waymos seem to be really careful. They seem to really, right? And if you think about it, you got so many other players now that are getting in the same game. So what does Uber do? They probably have to adopt the same model. And then it becomes, we're an advertising company because we're going to have screens inside of our venues. And our venues happen to be cars that are rolling around without drivers in them. And we sell advertising. Uber is going to become an advertising company. I'm convinced of it. I'm convinced Uber is already starting to do that. And the reason I said this is
that's interesting.
Uber sent me, the last Uber I took, the Uber sent me an ad saying, "Oh, don't you want your kids to learn good financial habits? Let us set up an account for you." And they had done some deal with some bank that allows accounts for kids. Yeah, I mean, I think it was Revolut is the bank or the credit card. Like you get a credit card for a kid as young as 6 years old. What is a 6-year-old going to do with a credit card? Well, it's just about teaching them financial literacy, right?
Like the Trump accounts.
Yeah, no, right. No, seriously. Yeah. I mean, you could argue, Joe, that idea, which sounds crazy, is designed to say, look, these kids are not going to have jobs. So they better really get to the financial literacy of socking some money away because they're not going to have any real earning capacity. To me, that's the meta message. The meta message is, can you imagine, Joe, if you and I were just like starting high school right now?
Wow.
Just turn the clock back. You have to turn it back like at least 4 decades plus? Four
decades, yes.
You turn the clock back. You're just entering high school. you're watching all this stuff, you're hearing about all these layoffs. What are you thinking to yourself as you go into high school? You're just, whatever that is, what, it's 15, 14 years old?
Yeah, high school, 14 or 15, yeah.
So what are you thinking? What are you thinking to yourself? 14, 15 years old, besides thinking about all the girls in high school.
Yeah, I think you're starting to question if I had to roll it back, and I would think they're starting to question even if they had an idea what they wanted to do in high school or out of high school once in college. I think they're probably rethinking that whole process now, because there's a lot of discussion too, which makes sense, is what is the true value of many of these degrees now.
I have to tell you, Joe, I was on the fence when I got out of high school about going to college.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I drove trucks as a kid, like literally 17 years old, youngest class 1 tractor trailer licensee in New York City, 18 years old. I made a lot for the time, a lot of money, tractor trailer operator as a kid.
You could have started your own business probably.
Well,
right?
I mean, I can talk about these opportunities.
Yeah, right.
I mean, these opportunities, I don't think I would have said, I was on the fence at that time. Today, if you go back and say, okay, now, how do you feel about doing 4 years of college and then maybe a couple of years of business school and then maybe another 3 years of law school? 10 years? You want to take the next 10 years away from me? Really?
I know.
That's what I'd be thinking to myself. I'd be thinking, I mean, I would never make the climb up Mount Everest that I did, decades ago, when it seemed like a good proposition, a good value proposition. But I don't know that you could repeat that to some 14-year-old today and have them believe it. I'm not sure you have them believe it.
You think that this is that sounds like a funny question, but do you think that with the AI and all these things that are going on, just the changes in this economic, just this global economic world we live in, do you think we'll suffer from innovation? And in other words, I guess what I'm trying to say will there be less people really excited about ideas and doing things going forward as there was in the past? Or do you think that'll still exist?
I think it'll multiply, because what I see is these young kids coming out of high school and saying, I'm not going to college. We had one that came in saying, look, I got a free scholarship at MIT. I'm not doing the MIT thing. I'm going to start my own business. I think we're going to see a lot of micro businesses that get started with kids like babies. I mean, kids, like you look at them saying, you can't put a sentence together. They may not have any gravitas at all, but they've got some great ideas. And if they can pull together a team and they can find some mentorship, they'll eventually raise money, because I'll tell you, there's a lot of older people that believe the energy of these young kids, particularly ones that aren't already, sort of molded by college professors who put their own slant on things. Right. It's like, to some degree, it's like a fresh mind. It's a totally fresh mind.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see more women, young women, do the same thing. Basically say, hey, I'm gonna make success happen before I'm 30, and then I'll have kids, or then I'll have a family, or then I'll freeze my eggs, or whatever. A million different options that are available today that weren't available years ago.
Wow, yeah, I can see that. It's amazing how things are. This, back to the Super Bowl, we're seeing a little bit here, but I have to say, I bet you, if we were doing this podcast and I was in the heart of San Francisco, I would be seeing a lot more chaos and roadblocks and traffic jams. And don't get me wrong. Yeah, they'll be this will be a whole different place come Sunday, because now the live event is in Santa Clara County, so you're going to have a lot of that traffic. And of course now, they're also worried about this whole ice thing, and are they going to be looking for illegal aliens in the middle of the Super Bowl and all this kind of stuff? So we'll see how it goes. Apparently,
if Trump wanted to put it to San Francisco or Santa Clara or California generally, he would do a little bit what he's done in Minneapolis, right? And just put in like thousands of ICE agents like scurrying around the street and causing all sorts of traffic jams, right?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
Super Bowl experience draws big crowds. I'm just looking at this. Let's see if this will play. I wonder if this will play for us. I've never done this before in this device, where you could actually show what's playing.
Can you show a video while you're doing the podcast?
Video. Have you done that? I've not done it
for
on
a while.
device. I haven't done this on this device. So if you say share, and you say share camera, share photo, share website, well, you have to share the website. Okay, that's the trick. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can share the website. It's asking for sharing the website.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if it does it. If I say copy link, nothing like experimentation here in real time. If I say share, let's see if it goes. Let's see what it does. Here it is. Here. You see that?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, perfect. Also see the category below about some wedding, some couple missing 1995. Let's see if this plays. It might take a while. Is it a YouTube?
Not playing?
No, it's not. It's not playing. No.
On my screen. That's not yours.
Oh, wonder if I have to do. Oh, hold on a second here. You know, I could be. I'm showing that I have. For some reason, I've never seen this happen. It's saying I have low bandwidth for some reason. I'm not sure what that's all about. I wonder if that has to do with it.
Okay. But there should be a way. I mean, there should be a way to show stuff like that, right? There should be a way to make it easy to show stuff. But basically what they're saying in so many words is, just what you just said, which is there's a lot more going on in San Francisco than there is in Santa Clara. And that's an interesting thing because obviously the stadium is in Santa Clara, and all the traffic that's going to head south from San Francisco is going to be quite interesting on both 101 and 280 on the day or the morning. Your daughters are going to hang out in a hotel near the stadium just to be able to be close to the bar.
They're not going. Yeah, they're not going to go now because they're not going to pay that kind of money, and their dad's certainly not going to do that either.
Did they indirectly say this is a requirement? Please handle this. Did they indirectly suggest that?
Yeah,
they did.
Oh, they did. They said, God, well, you know how they do it at this age. It's a little different approach. They said, God, I'd love to do this. It's always been a dream of mine, but I really can't afford it.
And by the way, my inheritance really won't be valuable for me in 30 or 40 years, Dad. Now's the time to do it.
There we go. What was it? Die at zero or die with zero, whatever that is.
Die with zero. They handed you the book, Die with Zero.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let them read that book. Although there is a lot of truth to that. Not to get off topic, there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, no, I'm not naming any names, but there's someone that I used to be closer to that will hoard all the money and do nothing with it her entire life.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine there'll be some karmic effect to all this for sure. No question about that. But that's a good point. That's the answer. The answer is you really should go with somebody that's hoarding a lot of money and that you can use this line with, and then you give your daughters this line. Look, eventually there's going to be an inheritance, and so just give me an advance against my inheritance for something I really want to do now. You're providing the guidance, Joe. This is perfect, right?
I like that. Yeah, I'll tell you, these podcasts are more informative than I thought.
No, seriously, Joe, I have to tell you, there is some truth to that. There is some truth to sometimes you just have to be a mentor to your daughters on stuff like this.
Yeah.
You just have to do that. I mean, at some point,
I will give them some guidance. You gave me.
At some point, they'll read your book, and I'm sure their hair will start curling automatically.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking speaking of my book, here we go. I'm mine's getting republished again. You know, the publisher went out of business years ago, and it's just I've been kind of putting it off, and it's gonna be republished now next month, so it's good.
Great. Do you have a copy to show the audience here so that they can put in their pre-orders?
I do not. I will on the next one though. They're just finalizing the cover and some other stuff, but yeah, it's
what's the name of the title that we should be looking for?
It's What All Little Girls Need and What Most Women Never Had.
Nice, Joe. I didn't know you were a family counselor.
Yeah, the tagline is right at the tagline below that title is what all little girls need and what most women never had. The tagline is healthy, loving relationships with their father. So
that's beautiful.
It's staggering still to this day. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing to this day what the impact of a father. I know a lot of people talk about all this stuff, but it is overwhelming. You go down the list. I just heard these statistics at our men's group this week. It's alarming. The people that are in prison, the people that use drugs, the people that, I mean, I could go on and on, financial problems, on and on and on and on and on. And it's the high percentage of all those sad, unfortunate circumstances of people's life. They could track it back to high percentage of not having a father around. Amazing.
Right. Well, Joe, I remember your book. And I remember buying a copy, and I remember reading it. I got it from Amazon, and it's still on Amazon. So
yeah, it's still on Amazon, but it's going to be recirculated, so to speak, because it was really difficult to get because the publisher I went with initially went out of business. So then after kind of the supplies wore out, then I had to work with another publisher now to basically just republish it to the world. That'll happen next month.
Maybe you should just publish it yourself so you have ultimate control, right? Maybe that's
I actually do this time around. They just charge now because the book's already done. They just charge to recirculate it, one-time fee, and everything else goes to me. So
nice. Yeah. What's the one-time fee these days for doing that?
Well, if you already have a book, it's pretty inexpensive. It's less than $1,500. Yeah, okay, because the work is designing. The work is in the book. Although, here we go again. I wonder what it's like today. Like, I wonder if I could take. I know I could, but it'd be interesting. Maybe I should have took my book and ran it through AI before I had it republished. But then it kind of ruins the true touch. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You don't want to make something that really doesn't sound like a real human being, which is you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I just put on the link the site on Amazon where I think what you're saying is if you order it today on Amazon, they won't fulfill for a while. Right? They won't fulfill it for a while because Amazon looks at it and says there's no stock, right? There's no stock right now.
Exactly.
So what year did you do it? What year did you actually do this?
It's hard to believe. Yeah, the original version was published in 2005, 11 years ago.
20 years later.
I'm sorry. Look at
20
that.
20 years later.
Yeah.
20 years later.
Yeah.
Wow, you got some good reviews too. That's great. I like that.
Yeah, and that was back in the day. Where you had to really write it yourself, and then there was certainly the publisher did worked with you once you had the chapters done, any structuring, and they had comments and stuff. But they made it real clear. This has got to be your book. We're not going to write it for you. Yeah.
Right. No, they don't do a lot. I mean, obviously for big named authors, they do a lot more, but they don't really do a lot. And they're not really the old school way of, publishing. It's not like that at all. It's much more marketing. They do some marketing. So I put it on the screen, Joe, and you tell me if you can see it. You see it on the screen, the static screen?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
There
that's
it is.
it. That's the one.
That's your book. So whose picture is this? Is this one of your daughters, or is this a stock photo, or what's this?
It's a stock photo. I chose it because it really did look like my oldest daughter, Rachel, when she was that age. But actually, we're redoing, we're going to refreshen it, where it's going to have a different cover. I wonder if I could share that. A different cover than it is now. Let me see. How do I share here? If I do the.
Did you do this while you were working at Delta back in those days when you were with the airline biz? So when you did
No,
this?
actually, 2005. That was when I was still in the. That was when I got in the lending business in the year 2000. So yeah, I was doing this when I was in the mortgage business, as I still am. By the way, on a
Go ahead, tell me.
Yeah, on a side note. Yeah, on a side note, I don't know what's going on, but my mortgage business in the last 2 months, last 2.5 to 3 months, has been busier than the prior 2 years.
Wow.
Great. So amazing.
Maybe people are taking all this Fed news as I got to get my application in because there's going to be a drop and I want to catch it. I want to catch the drop, right, as it happens, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just a bunch of planning. Do you ever think to say to your daughters, why don't you come into business with me and then you'll be able to buy your own Super Bowl hotel tickets? Or would that be too direct?
You know what? They sorry, I don't have the updated I don't have the updated one on my desktop here. I've asked them both, but they're not interested in this business. They're both not kind of numbers, finance kind of people. My daughter is a more creative one. She's doing really, really well in kind of the med spa business. And then my oldest is more, she wants to be a therapist. So that's but although she's, she's also, you had mentioned, which gets me thinking, she's realizing, even though she's through the school, she's realizing the thousands of, or I don't know how many hours you have to, like, before you can even start charging for customer. I don't know what that's like, but apparently it's a lot. Like you got to do a lot of free stuff first.
I think you should have your daughters read your book and add a new chapter or prologue or something at the beginning. I think that would be a really good marketing. That's a good marketing idea.
It is a good marketing idea.
With the new introduction to Joe's daughters, who are now both adults, that would be good. Seriously, then you could say, look, some of the royalties will go for you, and maybe next year's Super Bowl it'll all work out.
That's actually a really good idea. I have some time before. I have some revisions to do still, so that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I think you should do it. I think that would be something they would remember forever.
From my daughter's perspective now, right? 20 years later, this is what my daughters have to say. Yeah.
Right. And then they'll show their kids.
I don't know if I want to hear it.
You have to get ready to hear it. That's the hard cheese in this. Absolutely. But your daughters would probably be very pleased and thankful. And they'd say, yeah, eventually I'm going to read this to my kids. And then maybe their kids would read it to their kids, and you create this whole ripple effect, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
otherwise,
that's exactly right.
Kids won't even remember. Oh, yeah, my dad did this book, I don't really remember what it said. Hey, Joe, good luck at the Super Bowl. Good luck at the Super Bowl. I imagine you can rent your driveway out for probably a few $1,000s for the day, right?
It's not a bad idea, and I'll look forward to seeing you on Valentine's Day.
Wait, listen. Say to your daughters, if you can rent my driveway out for a couple $1,000s, I'll split it 50-50, and you'll be able to afford the hotel.
Oh, I like that. Look,
there you go.
Man.
Plus the book thing. Plus you can propose the book thing. All right, Joe. Take care. Take care. See you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Take care.
You've been listening to Real Estate Radio Live. For more information on today's program, visit reradiolive.com. That's reradiolive.com. Subscribe to our podcast. Discover more at reradiolive.com.